A very GLHF welcome to you fans, as today we take a look at my number 2 favorite theme in all of gaming. For those of you who've been following along since the beginning, you know that my favorite genre in all of media, be it television, movies, or games, is submarines. However, my second favorite genre is railroads and trains. Today we're taking a look at Railroad Inc. from CMON Games, or as we call it in our group because of an initial misunderstanding, Real Dank. This roll and write game was announced toward the end of 2018 and quickly dominated the genre. To find out exactly what all the buzz is about, let's open this box, one of the 2 flavors of Railroad Inkiness, Cool Ranch. Inside the wonderfully magnetically closed box of this deep blue edition of Railroad Inc., you'll start off by taking out one of the dry erase player boards per Railroad Tycoon and give each player one of these dry erase markers. Then the first player, chosen as always by Schwazi, should get all of the dice. You'll notice that my blue version has these 2 extra expansion dice in 2 differently blue colors. These include the wavy lines that denote water. These are optionally added to any game to create bridges over the troubled water on the dice themselves. The other fire red version challenges you with lava flows and meteor strikes. Since that's all you need to start this game, I'm really all set up for a playthrough, but let's get those transition bars in here just for the sake of comfort and familiarity. Much better. Okay, now the first player is going to roll all of these dice together, and then each person must use all of the dice rolled, if able, to connect routes to each other across the map. The very first die you choose to mark down must connect to one of the routes into your town from the edges, but from there on you can choose to connect to another one or an existing route you've already built. There are bonus tiles at the top of your player screen you can choose to use as well, but these don't replace the dice you've rolled. You add them on to the dice you rolled. You can only use one of these per round, and you can never use the same one twice in a game, so once you've chosen one to add in, you're going to cross it off up above. You only get 3 uses of the bonus tiles, so Jack Dawson your way through them. The goal here is to make the longest singular route, both in pavement and trestles, so always consider how much leeway you're giving yourself for future rolls. You'll also gain points for using routes through one of the 9 middle squares. Finally, connecting a single route with as many of the exits as possible contributes the most points, so be sure to leave yourselves routes back to those. It's going to become important to make sure you're marking down which round you put each tile down, so use the little squares in the corner, even if you think they're silly. I have a lot of roads on this particular opening roll, so I'm going to make sure that I am using the roads leading into the town. So for example, if I wanted to use this corner, I'd mark myself a route into the center of the board, leading to this particular road, which crosses to the top. Once everyone is done, the next player rolls the dice and you continue for a total of 7 rounds. You're going to total your score based on length, exits, and middle squares. You lose points for routes that don't connect to anything, and that's it. So, how does this game play? It's funny, our group found that this game split into 2 camps. The stress level of this one is pretty high. You can't change a route once you've drawn it, so making mistakes early can be punishingly sad. However, the feeling of leaving yourself the perfect gap, which gets magically filled in by a wonderful die roll, is so amazingly fulfilling that you'll leave the table and head down to your local surveyor's office to enlist. Really, it's that good. Overall, if you can embrace the randomness here and recognize that no player has any kind of advantage over another one, then you're in for an amazing time. You can even play this one solo, and having done this, it's a very zen experience. I can't recommend trying it at least once enough. At the very least, it's good practice to get a sense of what works in the game and what super doesn't. Railroad Inc. earns high praise for being simple yet incredibly difficult. Relying on the dice can be a bummer for some people, but embracing the randomness and the fact that everyone is stuck with the same garbage rolls that you hate levels the playing field and actually makes this title even more fun. Yalmar Hack and Lorenzo Silva's design is gorgeous in its simplicity, and the built-in expansion dice are a huge bonus here, as adding in lakes and lava ratchets up the complexity of an already stacked game. Let's go through the checklist though, just to be sure. In the box, rulebook clear and non-gender pronouns. There are lots of great examples in scoring and gameplay inside the rulebook, and it almost exclusively uses you to denote the player rather than a gendered pronoun. Is the iconography clear? Dealing only with railroad hash marks and very clearly road markings earns high praise for clarity from me. The lava and meteors in the nacho cheese red version and the lakes and rivers in the Cool Ranch flavor are also crystal clear, so there's very little confusion when looking at the dice themselves. Is the packaging well done? There's not a whole lot of extra room inside the flip box for more pieces, so expansions will need to come in their own larger box or be standalone products like the 2 flavors that already exist. My usual desire for baggies and room for sleeves is irrelevant here, with no cards and the insets for dice suiting this game perfectly. So, oh well. On the table, good representation. Each player is playing as themselves here, so you bring your own representation to the table. Component quality. The dice are perfectly chunky and well made, the whiteboards are sturdy and thick. Dry erase markers are a little hit and miss, as one of mine didn't work right out of the box, and some of the markings on the marker themselves wear off with time. I also kinda wish the markers themselves were more precise. A pack of Ultra Point markers isn't expensive, though I shouldn't have to provide my own. The box has a very satisfying magnetic clasp, and everything feels very good. Despite the marker issue, I'm giving this one a green check. Replay value. Huge. The dice provide enough variation to every game with the built-in number of rounds, and the included expansions give you even more to do. A huge green check here. Fun to lose. Actually, yes. While it feels like you're losing the entire time, you'll quickly learn that everyone feels that way. And since you don't know exactly how you measure up to others until the very end of the game, the announcing of the scores at the end of the game feels wonderfully tense and brings a really great element of fun to this game. Overall, Railroad Inc. is a great addition to your small box collection, and I highly recommend grabbing at least one, if not both flavors. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed that video, please hit that sub button and check out all of our other offerings at GLH5.com. And please consider becoming a patron of the channel at patreon.com/GLHFmagic and help us keep making reviews, videos, and podcasts for as little as $5 a month. We're also always looking for new games to review, so if you make games or you know a company who does and wants to have their game reviewed on Good Luck High Five, please reach out to us at glhf@goodluckhighfive.com and we'd be happy to take a look. You can follow me, Captain N the Game Master, on Twitter and Instagram at CaptainNGM, and follow the channel at GLHF Magic. Remember, please shop at your local game store whenever possible. Until next time, I'm Nicholas, and good luck, high five. You start off by taking out one of these sturdy dry erase boards, and, nope, we're gonna do this all over again because it just splayed all over this.
Talk to me more about how thick the dice are.
They're chunky.
Chunky. Let's hear more about those chunky dice.
Give each player one of these dry erase markers, and then the first player, as always, chosen by I can't get these out of the bag. Oh, Nicholas. Inside the wonderfully magnetically closed box of this deep blue edition of Railroad Inc., you'll start off by taking out one of the dry erase markers for every...
Now this has become like a thing.